Hi students, it's me. I just wanted to go over the types of bias this handout. Normally, this is something we would definitely review in person and we would talk about in class. So rather than just giving this to you, I definitely wanted to spend some time with you and review it. Video shouldn't be long. I'm hoping we can get it in 5 minutes. So there's certain kinds of biases that come up. There's actually 6 of them. You're going to find 4 examples, but 6 of them are the most prevalent. The first one is bias through selection and omission, and that's it can start as simple as what newspapers or news channels choose to actually report on and what they don't. It also can be that details are ignored when they're given to readers or when it's a news report. You can only really tell this kind of bias if you look at other sources and decide that, hey, they really did miss that news article, or they intentionally didn't report a certain part of it because they didn't want to have that information in there because they have an opinion that they want you to believe. It's considered bias. It's going to be misleading. Placement is another kind of bias. We always judge things that are put first more significantly than we do other things. So this is definitely something that is done in newspapers and news reporting online. It's even done on CNN and websites. Consider why some robberies and murders receive front page. Think about when a clergyman commits a crime or even a teacher commits a crime. It definitely might appear somewhere else than it would if it was someone else in a different profession. So that is a kind of bias. Um, Also, we can see the order of information in a certain article or a certain news article that they want to downplay some information, some facts, but not others. And you'll see that happens a lot of times too. Um, Bias by headline, believe it or not, some people only read headlines. I'm sure you guys have skimmed and scanned the news. You go to CNN, you just do a couple of clicks, and then you're done. And those headlines can really make people bias when you look at how they're presented. Photos, captions, camera angles. Photos are amazing how they can really bias us or how people can report on them differently. This is especially true when you look at a tabloid. Tabloid papers have these in them all the time, and they unflattering photos or flattering photos. They'll have a picture of someone together or someone just took a bad picture. I can look like I have a huge double chin, or I can look like I lost a little weight. I'm looking good, depending on what I look like in a specific picture, what expression I was making at the time. Especially think about how video does that as well. We have a lot of control over video nowadays. Statistics and crowd counts. We know that certain advertisements, certain articles, certain newspapers really do report numbers in a certain way that makes them work to our advantage. Crowd counts are a real good example of that. MusicFest reports their crowd count based on they stand in an area that's the most frequently populated area at MusicFest, and they count per square yard how many people are there, and then they multiply it by the total square yardage in the whole of MusicFest. That's not exactly a scientific number, but since there's no admission, it's hard to do that. But that does make sure they get the best numbers they can. Source control, definitely. Who is reporting the news? That's something you should always consider. It's something you should always think about, especially if something's over flattering. You realize that companies can produce press releases and give it to people and news sources. And sometimes it's not a real news, non-biased reporting. It's their news. Lastly, sorry, it's been a long day. Lastly, realize that businesses especially can publicize events that are like big kickoff events or ribbon cutting or a grand reopening. And those are mostly to get more people attracted to their business or get them into whatever kind of organization it is. And that is definitely a kind of bias. You're going to have to choose 4 of these and find some sort of example of it. Please do not just look at bias through selection and omission. I've seen them all 1,000 times. I just want you to go up, take a look at the news, and get a little bit example of that. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with, and I'm really looking forward to speaking with you. Thanks. Have a great day.